I remember when the pandemic first became real to me. It was March 12, 2020, and news that Donovan Mitchell had tested positive for coronavirus came out. It was shocking, to say the least. It was a moment of pause as the NBA considered whether it would continue its season, ultimately deciding to postpone it. As a basketball fan gearing up for playoff season, that stood out to me the most initially. Within the following 3 days, my hours at my job have been reduced from full-time to part-time and finally just completely gone. My job, which was a night shift position, currently does not exist anymore. Throughout February of 2020, I was fairly cautious, but did not think at all that the virus would become an international disaster. Now, I don't want to focus on me too much, but this is just an example of how within a few days, so many people's entire lives had changed, some unrecognizably so. Children who depend on the social environment of school to maintain healthy social skills, as well as to escape their troubled environment at home, have been isolated, some in a place and with the people that they fear the most. Many others are struck with fear because they know that they are at less risk to die than their older family members. This creates increased anxiety as kids do begin to integrate back into school in places that allow in-person learning. But there is no stability, no information, no chart, no numbers that tell us when this thing is going to end. To many kids, this feels like a dark tunnel with no light at the end. Throw in the fact that so many families have lost their jobs, and despite legislation and help in many developed countries, in some cases there's not enough money. And in many other cases, countries like America, infrastructure has been exposed with government benefit sites crashing, claims getting backed up several months, and plenty of people never even receiving their benefits at all. Children being less vulnerable to the virus, but also in this disempowered state where there's nothing that they can do while they watch their educational and home environments crumble, while they watch their classrooms evolve into a video chat, while they watch their senior years come and go without proper celebrations, while they watch the world around them be shifted into what seems like a page from a novel in a dystopian society. They just have to wait. And that waiting is all that any of us can honestly do. Sure, we can go get vaccinated, sure we can just keep distance, but as adults, we don't know when this thing is going to end either. We can make guesses, educated guesses even. We can look at the past, with the most recent pandemic this large being the Spanish flu 100 years ago. But a lot of the predictive models that were in place last year are no longer relevant. Does anyone remember the media campaign slogan, "Flatten the curve"? All of spring and summer 2020, this was one of the most popular phrases about the pandemic. Those models that we hoped to emulate last year are not even close to the rate that the virus has expanded currently and is poised to expand over the next few months as many southern states have opened up completely again. But the waiting, the agonizing wait, the small business owners not knowing if they'll ever be able to open back up or if they'll be able to survive in this time with limited business. So many people failed financially last year, while so many others also gained, right? I'd be remiss to exclude the fact that economic downturns are treasure troves for smart investors to create wealth. But wealth doesn't exclude you from getting this virus. And it doesn't automatically make life go back to normal either. As we go into this new version of our world, so many of us are just waiting to see what happens next. This has been Adonis Black. Out.
Government said keep it in, only offer medicine. Girl, I be your medicine.